So something massive just got shared with us today that's coming to Fallout 76 from Bethesda at QuakeCon. And just in case you didn't see, I'm just going to go ahead and play the footage here over this. Check this out.
Well, hold on. We're not done.
What are you talking about?
We've got one more thing.
What do you mean we have one more thing, John?
So listen, we've talked about Milepost Zero, right? The update coming out soon. We know playable ghouls are returning, coming out early next year. You want me to get on with it, don't you? So what's coming in between? There's got to be something. Fellow adventurers, I want you to get those pit boys out, just like this. Get those pit boys out because the wasteland hasn't seen anything this hot since the bombs dropped. Here's a sneak peek at the update coming out this December. The gleaming depths. Depths.
They didn't really give much details on what this is, but it seems like they're bringing back the raid idea, except it doesn't seem like we're exactly raiding a vault this time. I don't know. We could be. We didn't really get to see much of this, but yeah, it seems like they are bringing back the raid idea. There's something more difficult for us to take on. The reason why I say that is because Fallout 76's creative director for Bethesda, Jonathan Rush, also said this at QuakeCon. Check this out.
Going back a little bit, we talked a little bit about balancing. So 4 and 5-star legendaries, we talked about that a long time ago and then stopped. Was the reason that was maybe dropped or postponed is because of balancing issues and just kind of like you're throwing gasoline on a fire?
There's 3 or 4 things that kind of factor into that. One, timing. Yep. At that time, we didn't have enough systems in the game or enough events to really kind of feed into that system as well as we wanted it to. Also, the workbench UI and the flow did not work as well as we wanted it to work, so we wanted to go back to the drawing board on that. And then ultimately, we had a number of mods that we had created during that time frame that we just didn't feel were legendary enough. And so it was just kind of like we tabled it, said, hey, let's come back to this when we actually have a lot more utility in the game or a lot more events and a lot more things that we can make this system actually work into. So yeah.
So that mean we may see them down the road?
Who knows?
Who here is beating the Scorch Beast Queen? Show your hands. All right. Who here is taking down Earl? Who's done both? And lived to tell the tale. That's amazing. It sounds like you need harder challenges.
No.
And so the idea of expanding that power that players have is certainly something that we talk about every day. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
I love the stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
So he was giving some hints that, this is what they're going to be adding. He did mention also after saying that, stay tuned, which he was talking about, stay tuned till the end, because that's when he announced this new challenging thing we're going to be taking on, which I believe, once again, it's going to be some kind of raid atmosphere, like Destiny in a sense. Also, something else that got me really excited and just interested in this, the guy that runs, Chad Fallout 76 podcast, Ken, had the question for him about, 4-star or 5-star legendaries, and he answered kind of on the topic of getting them from something challenging. So we may be getting 4 stars and 5-star legendary rewards from this new raid. Well, that's what I'm guessing it's going to be that we get to do. It could just be a whole new event, but I'm assuming this is going to be like some kind of raid atmosphere where we have to take on multiple bosses and hopefully solve some puzzles and stuff. If they launch this nicely, dude, Fallout 76 is going to blow up again. It's going to be so much fun. I can already see it. That's genuinely going to reel me back in. Something more challenging for us to do. Because, he was pretty real with that question. How many have you beaten the Scorch Beast Queen or Earl? Yeah, they can be challenging at times, but most players have beaten them at least once, and a lot of players get to show up to them to take them on. I know not as much for Earl compared to the Queen, but still nonetheless, you can take it on at an easy level. Maybe these new raids, you can only go in at 4 people at a time or something. You got to come up with some strategies and be well prepared for these raids, which honestly I think would be a brilliant idea to add into Fallout 76. This got me super excited seeing this. And just look at the size of the snake. It actually looks like a unique boss. Freaking awesome. I wonder if there's going to be some new lore too that we can dive into within this new thing we're going to be getting to experience pretty soon. It's not too far away. You mentioned in December. In case you don't know, Bethesda actually released Vault Raids in Fallout 76 a while back ago. Actually 4 years ago now. So it's been a while. But the reason why they removed Vault Raids in the past was because of technical difficulties. There was a lot of problems that came with the Vault Raids. But it's been 4 years later now, so they probably have, hopefully, well, that is, gotten used to how the system for the raiding works, and they patched out a lot of the errors and technical difficulties they had in the past. So this time around, when they release it, hopefully it won't come with as many problems. Also, I'm sure there'll be a PTS sometime soon, actually, about this. Maybe a little after the Milepost Zero update goes live. So we'll be able to hopefully smooth it out even more before it actually goes live for everyone. We'll get to check it out in the public test server and alert the developers about the problems we encounter. I gotta say though, back in the day I still had a lot of fun with the Vault Raids. Even though at times it was a buggy mess, I still had a lot of fun doing them. And I was still able to complete, expert Vault Raid, which that was insanely difficult. I'm not gonna lie. But I like the challenge because there's not too many things that feel challenging in Fallout 76. To me anyways, this would be a great addition for a lot of in-game players to dive into raiding. Heck, players in general diving into this would be a great thing, especially if they give good rewards, like possibly 4-star, 5-star, great legendaries that we can get from doing the raids, or some kind of like super unique armor or something, and good camp items too. I don't know, make the raids actually feel worth it, because if they're going to make it challenging, of course we want a good reward out of the challenge that we're taking on. Kind of like how Destiny raids work in a sense. Hopefully they do also get down some puzzles as well within the raids. Once again, if this is even a raid. Hopefully there are some puzzles that take some teamwork to actually do or something. That'd be cool. But who knows? I don't know if teamwork would be the best scenario. Maybe make it so teamwork would make it easier, but you could still do it by yourself. Just so players that like to play by themselves and stuff will still be able to do these raids. But it'll just be easier with multiple people. I just hope if it is a raid, I hope it has unique raid mechanics to it as well. Kind of like how Destiny has unique raid mechanics to their raids. And you got to do specific things to unlock a certain door or something. Hopefully Bethesda gets some inspiration from Destiny raids, because their raids are awesome. Would love to have an awesome, unique adventure experience through a Fallout raid too. Gotta say, it's going to be amazing. Can't wait to dive into this. Hopefully they learn from their past mistakes with the Vault raids they used to have, and if this is a raid, they make it come back better than ever. I'm sure the developers left notes of what went good and what went bad. Who knows, they may even add a whole new public team system where we can choose to do a raid. You know how they made a whole new public team system for expeditions where we can, choose to make an expedition public team. Maybe they'll make something for raids too, to let players know they're looking for a raid team. And people who join them will do the raid. I would love to know your guys' thoughts about this, especially in general. Also, they announced the official release date for the Milepost Zero update. It's supposed to come September 3rd, so it's not too far actually where we're going to be able to dive into this new big update. It's supposed to come with the best builds feature, which we'll be able to see like the top voted best builds, and it'll swap out over time, so it'll keep transitioning to more best builds that get voted high up with likes. And it's going to come with a whole new caravan outpost, as well as a unique weapon with a unique effect on it, a heating effect, which if you get it at that sweet point, you're going to be doing more damage. So you got to kind of heat it up at a sweet point that it has, and you'll be able to dish out more damage. You don't want it to be too hot, but you don't want it to be too low either. There's this sweet point where you're going to be dealing out an insane amount of damage. So this is a fun, new, powerful weapon and mechanic that players will be able to tinker around with once this update officially goes live September 3rd. There's also going to be plenty more with this. I'm just not going to cover it all in this video. I've covered more about what's going to be coming in this update in previous videos on my channel. Just feel free to check those out. But yeah, I'm out here though, everyone. As always, most importantly, appreciate y'all taking the time watching. But yeah, I guess that's our wrapping up this video. Hope you all found this news enjoyable. At the moment, we don't know much about what this giant snake boss is and what exactly they're teasing here, but I'm assuming it's going to be raids. However, we're probably going to be figuring out officially sometime soon in the future. I'm assuming a little after Milepost Zero update goes live, we'll probably be able to test this whole new thing they're introducing to us in the public test server. Because after all, he did mention it's going to be coming sometime in December of this year. That's just an assumption. I don't know for sure. I would love to know your guys' thoughts about this though. I'm out here though. As always, most importantly, appreciate y'all taking the time watching and listening. Until next time, peace.